Hello, and welcome to ResNexus. Today we're going to cover how to use ResNexus Integrated Contracts. This new feature is available to users with a Premier level subscription. Our contract feature allows you to set up reusable contract templates to easily create, send, and store individualized guest contracts. Your guest contracts will be associated with the guest's reservation, making it very easy to find and refer to the contract and reservation as needed. To get started, sign into your back office, navigate to Settings, and select the Contracts option. This will bring you to the Contract Templates page. The first thing we will do is create our first template. This template will be used later for creating signable guest contracts. You will not need a unique template for each guest contract. Click Add New and enter the name and type of contract. Our contract for today will be long-term cabin rentals. We will leave our template on the default type of contract, but we also offer liability waiver types for your contract templates. Once you've entered this information, we're ready to build our contract. Make sure you replace the sample content of the contract with your own contents and format as desired. Simply highlight the text you want to format, then select the desired options at the top of the text box. Here, we're going to center our header and bold some of our section titles. Be sure to always save your changes before navigating to a different tab or page. Next, we're going to add our per-party terms. This page contains the fields that each contract party will need to fill out and sign. Add your text and drop in the fillable components. Don't see the type of field you need? You can always use a custom field for any additional information you need to collect. You're able to set these up under Settings, Custom Fields. As always, save your changes before leaving the page. Next, we're going to review your contract options. This is where you'll set any required documents for the contract template, as well as additional template options. For example, you may need to collect a driver's license for proof of identity and want to require vehicle information to be collected each time this template is used. Once your options are set up, fill out the party field's information. This is information that you are collecting about the guest prior to sending them a contract to sign. The parties may be individuals or businesses. Hover over each field to see the settings options. You can reorder the fields and adjust what must be filled out. When editing a field, you can adjust if the field is required, indicate if the field will be used by the guest to verify their identity when completing the contract signature, and set if the field is being displayed or hidden. Now your templates are ready to use, but before creating your first guest contract, we're going to navigate back to Templates and review the settings in the Options tab. The option to show audit history on contracts will display the history of the contract to you and your staff when reviewing a guest contract in the back office. Show the overall signature status to parties allows your guests to see the status on the contract, including if other parties on the contract have already signed. Once you have these options configured the way you want them, we are ready to create our first guest contract. To create the contract, you're going to navigate to your main menu and select Contracts. Search Contracts allows you to review any existing contracts or create a new one. When creating a new contract, first select the templates you want to use and enter the contract dates. Next, we're going to add the contract parties. Your business will always be a party on the contract. The information for your business can be changed under Settings, Business Info. You'll then add any necessary parties. These are going to be the guests on the reservation, and it should only have the guests that you need a signature from for your contract. These parties can be individuals or businesses. If you already have the contract party as a guest in ResNexus, you can use the lookup function to pull up and automatically fill out their information. There is no limit to the number of contract parties that you can have. Once you have all of your party information filled out, we're going to move on to the units, fees, and vehicles for the contract. You must have a unit assigned to be able to continue with the setup process. You're going to add a unit, select the reservation dates and number of adults to find available units, select the desired unit, and adjust the rate type, rental type, billing period, and first billing date as needed. You also have the ability to override the rate per billing period to offer your guest custom pricing. You can add any additional fees, such as a one-time security deposit or a monthly pet fee. If you are collecting the vehicle information, add a vehicle by selecting the type, color, length, license plate, and state. Once all that information is filled out, we're going to move on to documents. In this step, we're just configuring what the guest is required to provide prior to signing the contract. Select the documents and click Next. You additionally have the option to create a new document requirement as needed. Once you moved on to that next step, you'll be able to review the guest's documents and upload them for your guest if you have them on hand. Once your guest has uploaded some documents, this is also where you will go to find those documents to review them. The guest will be able to upload documents for themselves during the contract signature process. Following the document requirements, you have the option to add a card on file and add any payments for the guest. When processing a payment, you can indicate which contract party is making the payment, as well as automatically send a receipt to that guest. The Receipt tab allows you to send additional copies of receipts, as well as keep track of when the receipts have been previously sent. You're able to quickly print receipts or print a more detailed receipt where you have refined the contents that is displayed. And when you email the receipt, you're able to add a custom note to that receipt and choose which email template is going to be used. Now your contract is ready to sign. Please review your contract to make sure everything looks good. Once your guest has signed, you will not be able to make any additional changes to this contract. Once everything is good to go, click the email button to send the contract to the parties on the contract. You may customize the email subject as well as enter a personalized note. Select the desired parties and include any additional email addresses as needed. Your guest will then receive an email with the contract link. This link will give them access to review the contract at any time. Once your guest clicks the link in their email, they'll be taken to the contract signature portal, where they will be asked to verify their identity using their phone number and any additional fields that you have configured for identity verification, and will be prompted to set up a password. Once they've created their password, they will be able to view and sign the contract. This page will display to your guest the contract terms, the party fields that they need to fill out, as well as a summary of their reservation, including the units and rates on the reservation. And they will see any documents that they are required to upload, as well as the option to go ahead and upload the documents at that time. Your guest will not be able to sign the contract until all of the required documents have been uploaded either by the guest or by you at the property. Using this portal, if your guest has multiple contracts with you, they are able to go in and see those other contracts using the back arrow towards the top of the page. If you have your audit history configured to allow your guest to see the information about other parties and their signatures, at the bottom of the contract, they will be able to see what their signature status is, as well as the signature status of any other parties on that specific contract. Once the contract has been signed, you will be notified and you'll be able to use the contract search page to review that contract where you can check the documents and verify that the guest has in fact signed the contract. This contract is attached to your guest's reservation, and when you're in the contract, you will see the reservation number at the top of the page. You can click that number, and it will take you to that reservation summary. This gives you easy and convenient access to your contracts directly in ResNexus. If you are not currently on a Premier edition of ResNexus and are interested in using this feature, please make sure that you reach out to your account representatives so we can help get you upgraded and get you started using contracts today. Thank you for learning more about ResNexus.